Hey guys, we are back here again. Now I'm looking a little crazy, y'all. I am getting myself together. Now I done exfoliated my skin, and while my stuff sits in my skin, I'm gonna jump on here with y'all. Then I'm gonna do my makeup. Got my moisturizer on my face, letting that get in there. Then I'm gonna put makeup on today, okay? Because spring break starts tomorrow, okay? But listen, y'all, I wanna give y'all some updated information. Also, and for the people in the comments who really don't know nothing about YouTube, y'all just want to talk just to say something. What you just saw was not an intro. It said stream starting soon. You will always see that before the stream starts. That's why I paid for it. Now, this is the intro, okay?
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
Huh? So that's the intro, because some of y'all just be running y'all mouth. Was that 2 minutes? Can you count? No, that's the intro. Okay, so y'all, let's jump into it. Now, originally, when we were speaking about Dr. Heavenly's son, if you guys watched any of my previous videos, I told y'all, I said, I'm confused because the dates don't add up and something ain't making sense. I remember I said that. Remember, he was I shouldn't say indicted, he was charged on it was February. Let's bring that document up because it's going to make sense. I just got to make sure I'm showing y'all the right document because some of this stuff I just can't show y'all. YouTube is a little weird, but this one I can show you. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. Get into it. All right. So this document right here, you guys see it on my screen. I just pretty much emailed it to myself. You guys see the charges: aggravated assault against a law enforcement officer when engaged on official duty. And then you guys see battery. But what we also saw, remember I said this is confusing. It says February 25th is the date that this was filed. February 25th. But he was charged on the 23rd. So let me get back out of there, y'all, because I want to show you something else. Because remember, I was like, something don't add up with these dates, and I just wasn't understanding it. And now I have finally made sense of. But okay, so this document, I'm gonna have to scroll it down because y'all can't see that part. Let me see if I can show y'all this. Let's see. Let me see. I'm gonna just share it. If not, I'll just have to redo it. Let's see here. Yeah, I can't show y'all that because it's going to show something else. All right, let me find another document. But anywho, we're going to okay. So he was originally charged on the 23rd. The document that I'm trying to show you, I cannot show you because it shows their address, but it actually is over there on Patreon. So let me see if I can find y'all another document because that one actually, okay. Now I can't show you that one. Okay, so let me just keep going because the document that I wanted to show you, I can't because it actually has their address. So anyways, he was charged on the 23rd of 2023 in the month of February. So the confusing part is now we saw a document that said, wait a minute, now it says 2025. And I was like, what the heck does that mean? Well, let me kind of break it down to y'all. Let me break this thing down. Now I'm going to show you this document here because I was really like, I mean, it's a real case, but I didn't understand the dates. I finally got the dates, got me a little friend down there, honey. You got to get you some friends. Okay. So this is how it works. You guys are looking at this document and it says indictment, Fulton County Superior Court. This was filed on 3/27/2025. Now, for all the people saying that that's old, you baby, get some help. But anyways, this is how it works. He was charged, right? Why did it take them 3 years to indict this case? I have no idea. We can only speculate at this point. Do it even matter when, the indictment came down? So he is now indicted. That is what this means. Look at this. It says indictment, Fulton County Superior Court. This was filed on March the 27th of 2025. So that is why the dates are different. Apparently, you can be charged for something and indicted a couple years later. Don't ask me how. Don't ask me why. I don't know. But this means right here. You see, the grand jurors. So it's giving you names. So this means that this case went in front of a grand jury and they indicted it. So I know y'all probably gonna be like, what's the difference between a indictment and a charge? I don't know, but let's look it up because I was confused as well. Okay, well, hey, we just going to look. Let's see what that old Google says because, hey, Google should be your best friend. Okay, so let's see because let's see what it says with regards to an indictment. Because, like I said, that was confusing to me too. Because I'm like, okay, if you charge, you are indicted. So an indictment, a thing that serves to illustrate that a system or situation is bad and deserves to be condemned. These rapidly escalating crime figures are an indictment of our society. So what does it mean when someone is being indicted? Being indicted means a grand jury, okay, y'all, it's making sense, has formally accused someone of a crime, typically a felony, and that the case is now moving toward a trial. Okay, if you guys remember, I told you it was a felony. I looked it up. Now it's starting to make sense because as we look at this, it's telling us about the grand jury, right? But remember, if I stop sharing my screen and I show you guys this document, what does it say? It mentions exactly what we just read. It talks about the grand jury. So this, based on what I'm seeing, it shows that it is headed to trial. Now, for some reason, I just believe that this is going to be resolved. But it is a case that has been indicted. And it, again, it was very hard for me to understand, like, why is this taking so long? And I think that's because in my brain, I was like, okay, why would this not have moved forward in almost 2 years? Again, I don't know, but this is why, because he was indicted just, I don't know what, today is only the 6th. So he was indicted on March the 27th, which was just a few days ago. Now, in searching the case, what I've learned is that there is a court date coming up in April. Again, I just feel like this is going to be resolved. I feel like they're going to offer him some kind of program with regards to this, because I'm gonna just be honest with you all. For the time that I've lived in Georgia, they send people to jail, and hey, that's what they do. So I just feel like this is going to be resolved. If you guys really think about it, if it took them 2 years to indict him, it must mean that they have some serious evidence, because I wouldn't think that he would be indicted from a grand jury if there was no evidence. So there has to be some evidence again. And looking at the case, it is very empty. It's a little hard to follow. And that is simply because I'm used to looking at cases where it has a lot of information. Even if you guys follow the Diddy stuff at any rate, or if you even looked at any of it, you saw that indictment and it was so much stuff, which was a lot, but we know that there's stuff that they didn't even show us. But in that indictment, it was like, whoa, a lot of information. But in this case, there was hardly nothing there. So I was struggling, like, what's going on? So that is why the dates are different, because being charged with something and indicted is obviously 2 different things. And that is, I didn't know. I thought it was the same thing. As a matter of fact, somebody had mentioned in the comments, and I was like, well, they're the same thing. Apparently, they are not the same thing. So just wanted to clarify that with y'all, because he's been indicted. The case is indicted. And based on what we just read, it says when a case is indicted, it means that it is now moving to a trial. So, maybe they're going to resolve it before the trial, because, in order for the grand jury to actually indict it, I would imagine that they looked at some evidence, because in order to indict it, the grand jury needs to see something to make them believe that this person is probably innocent, guilty. Not to say that the person, can't present their evidence as to why they're not guilty, right? So yeah, I don't know if this is going to be a defense where the person or, Dr. Heavenly's son is going to mention, some medical related illnesses or something like that. I don't know, but based on what I saw and what we read on Patreon, it seems like that may be the case. And it seems like they are going to take some sort of a plea.